G'day trendsetters. I just going to read this article out for you. Coming to a country near you. If you want to see what's going to happen in Australia, just have a look at Nigeria. And there's some good news in this story. I'll just go through it. Nigeria limits ATM withdrawals to $45 per day to force government-controlled digital payments. Now, we already pretty much have that in Australia. You know, we've I can't get more than $2,000 a day out of an ATM, and you know, the Perth Mint no longer takes cash over the counter, so they're, you know, trying to stop cash all over the place because they don't want anyone to have any anonymity. So a staggering number of Nigerians love Bitcoin but hate government cryptocurrencies. In April, leading cryptocurrency exchange KuCoin noted that 35% of the adult population in Nigeria, roughly 34 million adults aged 18 to 60, own Bitcoin or other cryptocurrencies. But when it came to the country's central bank digital currency, CBDC, the eNaira, or Naira, it was a massive failure. Now, I've spoken about this before. They will keep introducing new currencies and they will fail. People will not adopt them. They will find other ways to trade. So you take cash out of the equation, you find another medium to exchange in anonymously. Without these, the game's up. These governments have lost their power and they're losing their power because their only power they have is your compliance. So let me carry on a bit. According to Bloomberg, only 1 in 200 Nigerians use the eNaira, whatever it is. Now, what I was going to say is I know that more than 50% of transactions now in Nigeria are Bitcoin. And I'm no Bitcoin pumper, but, you know, it's not totally anonymous, but they can see what you're doing, but they can't do anything about it. So a lot of Nigerians are now transacting in Bitcoin. So Bitcoin has become the medium. So, you know, it might get to the stage where it doesn't matter how many US dollars the Bitcoin buys. If it buys $0 US, they may still trade in Bitcoin. And all it needs is faith, the same as your Australian dollar. It's not backed by anything. All it needs is faith. Once the faith is gone from your medium of exchange, she's all over. According to Bloomberg, only 1 in 200 Nigerians use the eNaira, despite government implemented discounts and other incentives implemented as desperate measures to increase adoption. So they're trying their best, but they can't go marching into everyone's house and make them use it. What are they going to do? Shoot the whole population? You know? They haven't got enough guns, they haven't got enough police, not enough army. They don't have any power other than you comply with their bullshit. Now the government is looking to boost digital payments by limiting ATM withdrawals to just 20,000 Naira, or roughly $45 per day. Now that doesn't sound like much here in Australia, but that's probably a fair bit in Nigeria. $45 probably buys you a fair bit. I don't know honestly, but you know. Later on in the article, it talks about them being 89% cash. The economy basically is, and Philippines is the same. If you go there, like everything's cash. You've got to go to the ATM, pull out a big bunch of, you know, worthless pieces of paper and use that when you buy and sell things, because no one's got a swipe card, or you know, you can't swipe your phone in the Philippines. Not even in a high-end hotel. You still, you know, it's if you try and pay by card, they bring out one of these old chip machines and go take an imprint of it, you know. So anyway, Bloomberg reports, citing a circular sent to lenders on Tuesday, the previous withdrawal limit was 150,000 Naira, which was $350. So they have reduced it from $350 to $45 per day. Weekly cash withdrawals from banks are now limited without fee to 100,000 Naira, Naira, $225 US for individuals, and $50,000 Naira US, or 1,125 for corporations. Any amount above this will incur a fee of 5% and 10% respectively. So you get charged to take your money back off them because they don't want you to take it. The action is the latest in a string of central bank orders aimed at limiting the use of cash and expand digital currencies to help improve access to banking. Yeah, pull the other one. In Nigeria's large informal economy, cash outside banks represents 85% of currency in circulation, and almost 40 million adults are without a bank account. So you don't need a bank account if everything's cash. It's all anonymous. It's all just, you just store your cash in your pocket and at home. The central bank last month announced plans to issue redesigned high-value notes from mid-December to mop up excess cash, and it's given residents until the end of January to turn in their old notes. So this is going to happen in Australia when they bail us in. They're going to say, right, bring in all your $50 notes because it's not going to be worth anything. No one's going to, it'll be illegal to accept them tomorrow. So you have to go and bank them in and get your digits. And that's when you just siphon it into Kinesis and buy some more silver and gold with it. That's another podcast. The bank also plans to mint more of the eNaira digital currency, which was launched last year, but has faced slow adoption. That was Bloomberg. What's more, new rules which will take effect on the January the 9th will ban the cashing of checks above 50,000 Naira, which is $112 US over the counter, and 10 million Naira, which is $22,480 through the banking systems. Point of sale cash withdrawals have been capped at 20,000 Naira, which is $45. Meanwhile, banks are only allowed to load their ATMs with 200 Naira denominations and under, while individuals and corporations will be allowed to cash a maximum of 5 million and 10 million Naira, respectively, if they are compelling circumstances not exceeding once a month, and which will be subject to enhanced due diligence along with processing fees, according to the central bank. Such withdrawals will require the approval of the bank's CEO. Customers should be encouraged to use alternative channels, internet banking, mobile banking apps, USSD cards, POS, eNaira, and conduct their banking transactions, said the central bank on Tuesday. You know what they're all going to do? They're going to do what they're doing now and using Bitcoin. And they should be using Kinesis, but they're going to use Bitcoin. So the more that you try and do this, it's already a failure. So it's just like the French double currency collapse when they chopped a few zeros off and changed the name of it and said, right, we're going to issue another fiat currency. That only took 6 months and it failed. You can lead the horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And your central planners are going to find that out shortly. So it doesn't matter what they do. And this is coming to Australia. This is what they're going to do in this country. They're going to try and do it here. And we're going to find a way around it. Even without cash, we're going to transact. And there might even be a point where you just say to the service station, I've got this or this. Otherwise, I don't fill up with fuel. Don't buy any food. You think that's bad for you. That's bad if everyone bands together and tells the supermarket, we've got enough at home today. We're not going to use your shit. We need another medium of exchange. But the best way, if they force you into digital, is to go to Kinesis and at least the digits, you know, you're owning gold and silver and you're spending gold and silver. That's the only way, it might be the only way around it, plus the other digital currencies. But I know that in Nigeria they've tried to stop the on and off ramps. I don't know whether they've been successful. On and off ramps as in you have to use dollars or the local currency to buy Bitcoin. You have to use the banking system to buy Bitcoin. I've always said that. They've already got control of the banking system and you have to use that at the moment. But we will find a way. Silver is the new cash, guys. Silver is the new cash. That's what you're going to be using to bargain with, to transact in anonymously. You still will be able to transact anonymously. You're just not going to use Australian banknotes any longer. They're worthless anyway. Thanks for watching, guys. See you on the next one.